My friends, today the theme is going to be focus. And focus and what our message has to be and what we're going to be doing. I want you to understand something. I want you to look of my address with you today as the following. I am kind of a la, I'm kind of the propagandist. That's what I'm doing. I'm the propaganda feller. And what I'm doing is propaganda is not a bad word. Propaganda is from the word propagation. And it was also propagation of the faith. Remember that? This is Pope Gregory or whatever. Propaganda has a negative connotation, a negative theory, a negative aspect, but it's not necessarily negative. Propaganda says, I want you to understand the spirit. Think of us as being the pep team, the spirit team. That's kind of what we're doing. So what I want you to do is I want you to imagine you're going to be backstage at the White House, and we're a newly formed group of people that has never been ever acknowledged before. We're kind of like Doge, but not really. We're Doge, but we're different. We're Doge, but you understand what I'm saying? It's a different story. Okay? Listen to what I'm saying. And what we're doing is we're sitting back and we're looking at the politics, the policy, the polity, as in politics, and what we need to do. We also have a clandestine. We have a dirty tricks. Think Donald Segretti. Think Lee Atwater. Dirty, illegal. For example, in my world, we will organize, we will promote the Capitol bathroom protests. We will do that. We want that. You understand what I'm saying? We want that. We like that. This benefits us tremendously. Do you follow what we're saying? Sit tight, my friends. Make sure you are subscribed to Lionel Nation. Make sure you are subscribed also to the newsletter. Little heads up. One drop, a newsletter, email, whatever you want to call it. It drops at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So make sure as you speak, it's pinned to the top of my X or Twitter account. It's in the comments section. Make sure you sign up because I've got buttes coming up. I did one on the Smith-Mundt Act. I did one on crowds of hydro-imperialism, things which I think you need to know, okay? Because I am the propagandist in chief. That is what I'm doing. That is who I am. I know that may sound strange, but then again, good. Some of the best things in life sound strange when you've never heard them before. In any event, dear friends, listen carefully to this important word from our very important sponsor. Have you ever wondered what happened to the legendary Chuck Norris? I recently saw a video he made, and I was shocked. He's in his 80s and still kicking proverbial butt and working out and staying active. And what's even more shocking is he's stronger, can work out longer, and even has plenty of energy left for his grandkids. Now, he did this by just making one change. He says he still feels like he's in his 50s, and his wife even started doing the one thing too, and she's never felt better. She says she feels 10 years younger. Her body looks leaner, and she has energy all day. Chuck made a special video that explains everything. And make sure you watch it by going to chuckdefense.com/Lionel or by clicking on the link below this video. It will change the way you think about your health. And once again, that's chuckdefense.com/Lionel. Click on the link in the description below to watch the video now. And you won't believe how simple it is. And just a reminder, the legendary Chuck Norris is a whopping 84 years old and yet has more energy than he ever has. He discovered he could create dramatic changes to his health simply focusing on 3 things that sabotage our body as we age. Watch his method by clicking the link in the description box below at chuckdefense.com/Lionel. All right, my friends, a couple of things in no particular order. Let me first of all thank you again for being here. And I want you to do yourself a favor and let us clear our minds today. First, remember, as our friend JD says, you forgot your napkin. I don't know what that means, but thank you very much for that. Now, let me get rid of this here just for 1 second. First, today we're going to be talking about things that go against the grain. And I'm going to give this to you in no particular order, no particular delivery, okay? First of all, number one, Fox News did a wonderful thing last night. It was a Patriots Award or the Patriots, whatever it is. And the Patriots and President Trump won the Patriot of the Year. Imagine that. He won that. And we have the usual suspects and the usual people and heroes. And it's wonderful. It's terrific. It's great. Okay. This does nothing for us. Do you understand that? This is not what I want to be a part of. I want to recruit new members, acolytes, believers. I want to introduce. I want new people. I want new folks. Do you hear what I'm saying? I want new. I want new people. I also want to destroy the Democratic Party. I want to do intel and look at what's happening. I was watching the other day the movie Sicario. Josh Brolin is probably one of the best. His view of the brutality of the mission is wonderful. Oh, by the by, a little bit of a little recommended watching. Please watch HBO's Yacht Rock. It is wonderful. People from our generation will remember it. I never knew the word yacht rock came out until recently. I never heard the word yacht rock. I knew what yachting was. Yachting is when B-grade actresses and others and people send their children and send women to be prostituted out in the international waters to famous people, and they are watched and filmed. See, you're used to, everybody here is talking about, oh, we got to get that black book. You know, the guy, E's number 5's black book. No, that's not it. The good stuff is going on in yachts. This is other stuff. This is nothing. That's the stuff. It's not Diddy. But anyway, but watch Yacht Rock. I one time was in Marlboro, New Jersey at a wonderful Italian restaurant. I excused myself to the loo. As I was coming back, I said, I really like this this music you're playing. And the bartender said, that's yacht rock. I said, I never heard the term. Apparently the term's been around since the 80. I don't know. In any event, watch it, HBO. It's fantastic. Okay, watch it. Now, let me begin by saying this. Which side do you want to be on? If you want to just sit back and watch, that's okay. I don't want to sit in the stands with the team. I want to be with the scouts. I want to be at spring training. I want to hear the coaches meeting. I want the inside skinny. I love Moneyball. I loved all that stuff. I want to know, how is it really done? How are things really, really done? I love to see changes. Yesterday, I read something about my friend Michael Kay. They were changing ESPN local radio. It's not a big story to you, but it is to me because it goes to show you how things are changing. I'm always looking to see how things are changing. Always looking to see how things are changing. And one of the people that I have, my Bible, the one that I read for inspiration, and I just go through it constantly. I love Gustave Le Bon. The name is Le Bon, Gustave Le Bon. And I am a huge fan. The Crowd, a study of the popular mind, ochlocracy, and the like. This is what changed my mind. Today, I have later on a newsletter email, kind of like an overview of what is happening regarding the number of people who are taking great glee and ghoulish delight in the murder of this healthcare fellow. And I'm interested in that. I'm always interested in how people think together. How do the insiders think? I mentioned the Josh Brolin character. He explains what he does. He's not with the CIA, and I love it. He says, well, I'm just a contractor, whatever. And people I always tell you, forget CIA, forget this CIA. That's TV. He's a guy who's involved in the more interstitial stuff. And that's why you have to know what's going on, because we are part of a revolution. Let me give you something. Le Bon said, the masses have never thirsted after truth. See, that's what I always tell you. You always want truth. You don't want truth. Whoever can supply them with illusions is easily their master. Whoever attempts to destroy their illusions is always their victim. Crowds are influenced mainly by images produced by the judicious employment of words and formulas. One of the most constant characteristics of beliefs is their intolerance. The stronger the belief, the greater its intolerance. Men dominated by a certitude cannot tolerate those who do not accept it. A crowd is not merely impulsive and mobile. Like a savage, it is not prepared to admit that anything can come between its desire and the realization of its desire. In a crowd, every sentiment and act is contagious, and contagious to such a degree that an individual readily sacrifices his personal interest to the collective interest. This is my religion. This is my Bible. This is my faith. This is my God. It's the psychology, not into, saints and pray. No. It's us understanding the psychology of who we are and recognizing why we do certain things. That's the most important part. That's critical. Let me show you a couple of things. Let me show you how to respond to this. This is very, very interesting. First, if I didn't know better, see, in my world, when you would see this, people would know it's me. People would know I did this. Let me ask you to watch this and then ask you to tell me, what do you see here? What do you think this is?
Our bodies are no debate! Our bodies are no debate! Speaker Johnson, Nancy May! Speaker Johnson, Nancy May! Our bodies are no debate! Our bodies are no debate! Speaker Johnson, Nancy May! Speaker Johnson, Nancy May! Our bodies are no debate! Our bodies are no debate! Speaker Johnson, Nancy May!
Flush bathroom bigotry.
Our bodies are no debate!
Okay, tell me what you see there. What do you see there? Tell me. Now, do me a favor. I'm going to ask you a question. There are those who are, and listen, you may enter, and because we're a little crowd here. I want this to be interactive, not just, and I think it's great. A lot of folks spend their time to say, "Hey, how are you? Hey, Dave. Hi, Eleanor. How are you?" And that's fine. That's fine. Great. I love it. This is the conviviality of what we do, which is wonderful. But I'm curious, and then there are other people who want to always think of something cute to say. Okay, fine. But I really want you to be serious. I want you to look at our endeavors daily as a very serious exercise. What do you see that when you see this? Tell me what you see. Okay, look at this. Now, here we go. Dan says something. Dan says, I see a bunch of knucking futs. You got that? Okay. Mark says, absolutely useless. Okay, paid protesters. Mary is getting into it. Closer. Port Sitter says, so true, some of the religious beliefs as instruments to justify their inhumanity. You're missing. Okay, stop. Let me see. Hall monitors. Paid and paid and paid. I think you'd be surprised, Mark, that these people are not paid. I think that they are absolutely part and parcel of a group of people who want to be a part of something. They want more than anything else to be a part of something. I want you to look back. When you look at these people, I want you to imagine the crowd, a clockracy, mobocracy. Think of murmurations. Think of starlings. Think of all this. Look how they do it. Are they paid? Absolutely not. Do you think members of the Klan were paid? No. Do you think BLM were paid? No. I mean, the higher ups were paid, yeah. But do you think people in the city? The only people who were paid are people who supported Guatemala. Those are the ones who were paid. Nobody else was. No, I give them something to be a part of it. What do I give them? Pizza. You're going to laugh. If you provide groups of people with identity, meaning maybe a slogan, a sign, pizza, being, belonging, I don't need 1,000 people. I just need, I don't know, too many. But I would have organized that. I would have been the ones. I would have absolutely it would have been everywhere. Universities, hospitals. I wouldn't advocate violence, but I would want intellectual disruption. As I have told you, dear friend, from the beginning of time, the story, the issue that I find the most critical out of everything, the issue that I find most critical out of everything is that of transgenderism. It's the issue. The issue. Where people get their information from is important, is critical. You see, people don't research. What I'm telling you, we're very lucky. I'm letting you on to something. Most people, they don't look things up. They just don't know. Let me give you an example of something. I love common misperceptions. Where does the word tip come from? There is a new deal right now. Wait a minute, Fred Pound says they think of this as their own personal march on Soma. Yes, Fred Pound, that is precisely correct. I want to appease, to deal with their group. Absolutely. Raul says they are freely vested in the movement. Yes, they are vested and invested. They are a vested member of it. Absolutely. And remember, I've got these people out of the anytime I need them, anytime. And this will disrupt whatever is left of the democratic message. Anytime we need them. This is our BLM. Don't forget also that a lot of the BLM stuff in a real world would have been false flag stuff. Let me give you an example. There is a deal right now. There are people, if you read, what do? I want you always to go, dear friends, I want you to go to the groups. Look at the news stories. And one of the stories that's really catching on is this thing about tipping. People are now demanding that you tip. Are you seeing this? They're asking 25% ahead of time. This is in the service industry. This is huge. There's one picture. I forget. It says, "Polite reminder to all customers: please do not order food if you're not going to have to leave a minimum of a 25% tip." This has been going around today. Let me give you this. This is a tutorial. Where does the word tip come from? Where does it come from? The word tip. You're going to see people. Now remember, the people that I'm going to ask you have never researched it. Never. But watch what they say. They will talk about a backronym. Wait until, has somebody said this yet? Where does the word tip come from? Has anybody said this? Been around for years. Tipping is not a city in China. Thank you. Cow tipping. Again, we're going to get to this. Here we go. What is the word tip? Where does it come from? Because this is one of those things people, like the Smith-Mundt Act. I did a newsletter yesterday saying, Obama didn't repeal it. No, he modernized it. Oh, people didn't know this. Look at this. Nobody's answering the questions. Where to ensure prompt service. Thank you. Thank you. Somebody said this. To ensure proper or prompt service. Thank you, James. It only took 50 people who were too busy. Who again, remember, people want to be funny. This is something you have to understand and remember something. Remember, learn from the eye-batting, flirtatious young girl who says, "Oh, you're so funny." Watch what she does. The flirting, but the flattery. This is psychology. Let me explain a couple of things here about this word. To ensure prompt service, to ensure promptness. There's all of this stuff. It took me 5 seconds to investigate, where does this word come from? Where does this word come from? Tip. And I've been saying this for the longest time. The claim, and this is on my X Twitter, the claim that the word tip, meaning a gratuity, originates as an acronym for to ensure promptness, is a linguistic myth, unsupported by historical evidence, but it's repeated as myth. Linguists, cunning and otherwise, categorize this explanation as a backronym, a retrospective attempt to assign meaning to a word by constructing an acronym that aligns with its perceived purpose. Historical and etymological records indicate that the term tip has a well-documented evolution in the English language. The verb to tip, meaning to give or hand over something, dates back to the early 1600s, as recorded in the OED. By the 18th century, the noun had developed into modern usage, denoting a small payment offered to servants or workers as a token of appreciation for their service. The acronym explaining to ensure promptness only emerged in the 20th century as folk etymology, gaining traction for its simplicity and seemingly logical connection to tipping's purpose. However, no contemporary sources from the relevant periods support this claim. I love this. From a linguistic perspective, the to ensure promptness theory is implausible. Listen, acronyms, as we understand them, as a relatively modern phenomenon, which is in fact they're new, primarily arising in the 20th century alongside bureaucratic and technological terminology. Words like tip, which predate the widespread use of acronyms, could not plausibly derive from one. Moreover, historical documents, including early etiquette manuals and accounts of social customs, consistently describe tipping as a practice rooted in the patronage systems in the 17th and 18th century. Sorry, go on. So what the point is, to say this in another way, the story about to ensure promptness is bullshit. It doesn't exist. And also know the difference between an acronym and an abbreviation or an initialism. TIP is an acronym. Radar is an acronym. FUBAR is FBI, ATM. Those are abbreviations. Now, keep in mind, this is what we live. We live by mythology. We think about, we live in the word of mythology. Ryan says, I see a bunch of guilty white liberal women protesting who are a bane in Western civilization. They are primarily the problem, in my opinion. Thank you. Tom says, thank you. You know what, Ryan, I'm saying? No, we don't care about this. We want to use them. Do you see the reaction that they cause? This is the reaction they cause. See, this is what I want. I'm not analyzing. There's some people who really believe it. Whether they believe it or not, I don't know. Right now, if you told me, listen, I think there should be a militant form of like a BLM version of like violent shock troop, Antifa, gay people. I said, I'll do that for you. I'll get that for you. What was that? I'll get that for you. To regroup? No, it's easy. You want ants? You want roaches? Leave a piece of food out. They'll come. This is easy. I can do this anytime. I don't have to pay anybody anything. I'll get whatever you want. And once I spread this, this is the thing that's important. Now, let me stop right there. Do you know what last night's Melania was on Fox News today? Does that matter? I don't care about that. Why? Because those are people who are already going to vote for Trump. I'm with the new people. Do you think Melania is a secret weapon? Melania is a secret weapon. Do you think she's doing enough for President Trump? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. She needs to be doing things. She needs to be inviting young girls to the White House and working for some empowerment. I've never gotten the impression that she's really 100% into it. It doesn't really have to be. But I see a couple of things here. Elon's always dragging that kid around, which is beautiful. And Barron is all of a sudden they're injecting Barron into the equation. I think it's wonderful. But remember, if that doesn't, if that doesn't bring new voters, I don't give a damn. I don't care about Melania on Trump on Fox unless she brings new voters. How do we bring new voters? How do we bring new voters? What is it that we do to explain people? Okay, let me explain something to you before I forget. Dear friends, this is critical, and I need you to pay very, very close attention to this. There is a brand new deal, okay? Listen to me. The Prepare with Lionel deal is still going on, and there is still a Black Friday deal. I do not know why. Don't tell them. But right now, as we speak, they have a special 4-week food kit, big enough for any crisis, plus 6 free bonuses when you order now. 4-week, 28 days, 2,000 calories a day, with not only just like, oh, banana chips. Look at what we are talking about. Look at it. Go to preparewithlionel.com, and at the very top, it says Black Friday. Go there. This is the deal. This is a joke. For example, 4 weeks, 4 week. Today's special price, $187. This is a joke. 28 days? This can't be. Get the 4-week food kit, big enough for any crisis, plus 6 free bonuses. I've never seen a deal like this. Less than $200 for this? You can't walk into Costco without saying hello to $200 for something that's not even going to last. This is 25 years. So that's just it. Preparewithlionel.com. Just go to it right now. And at the very top, hit Black Friday, and there it is. This is the joke. $187? What? This is a joke. I'm telling you. And by the way, while we're on this subject, because I want you to understand something, you want to talk about deals? Remember our friend Mike Lindell at mypillow.com. Never, ever, ever. I don't know where Mike is. I don't know if he's a part of the cool kids. I don't know. I don't know who's in and who's out. And I don't know. He's always in with me because he has been a patriot and a First Amendment zealot since day one. Mike Lindell, mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. Christmas is now as we speak. Listen to this. What is this? 19 days away. Okay? Okay. Now, let's talk about this. Watch this. Who's this?
Transgender people serving in our military. We have transgender people serving in our military.
By the way, first thing, maybe this is me. Whenever I see a bad wig, I'm thinking, are you kidding? It's the year 2024. What do you go to a wig barn?
They will bleed red just as the rest of us. But I also take a stance that we should not be integrating transgender people into certain situations where it does make, if you have a female barracks and you have a transgender woman who has not transitioned, we shouldn't make the rest of the unit uncomfortable.
Bullshit.
About that setting. There are certain accommodations we can make for that transgender individual.
What?
But if they bring value to our unit, if they have specialties that we can use, especially if we want to maintain an all-volunteer force, We want to bring that talent into our services. And I know that's controversial, but again, I'm looking at what's good for our nation. And believe me, when we're facing a recruiting challenge right now, if people are physically willing and able to serve our country, we want them to do so.
Get rid of her. She's a rhino. She's full of it. Crypto says, Uncle L, let's create a way for donating segments to viewers a certain portion of your sponsors. That's a fascinating thing. I think I know what you said. I think. You always make me think, Crypto. You always make me think. You always make me think like, interesting. Disruption in Thornton Township. Tough. Got the T. Now she's P. Oh, yes. This is Tiffany Henyard. Yes, we'll talk about that one. Still not indicted. Still. Now, here is the story. What do you make of this? What do you make of this? Lionel's rule number 1. We set up these bathroom Selmas, as you say all the time. The Rosa Parks of the loo. Lavatory lewdness. Pissed off in the pisser, in the head, the can. The WC, the toilet, the turlet. We reduce this transgenderism into this silly, stupid, childish waste of time, nothing about bathroom visit. That's what we do. Do you hear me? Yes. That's what we do. That's number 1. You got it? Good. Number 2. Interesting. We then bring that and we say they want to destroy our military. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I want to show you something. I want you to see the following. These are the ads that need to be done. I want you to look at recruitment for Chinese army, Russia, but the Spetsnaz, or whatever the Russian. I would have one ad that would be so everything. This is China. Okay, China. Crypto says, the way the guy donates memberships, I want to donate to MAGA a bucket of food. Interesting. We're going to work on that, Crypto. That's an excellent point of view. We will get on this. I want you to see something here. You know, China is one of the largest, and Asian communities as well, proponents of, they have one of the healthiest diets ever. Colin Campbell, his book, The China Study, changed my life. Think of this. Or a bolster. There you go. There you go. Thank you. And they have been eating soy and soybeans and soy and tofu like since the beginning of time. High vegetables, low, quote, animal protein. Because remember, there's protein in plants, protein in beans, protein. I love when people say protein. They got the tip thing wrong. They make this stuff up about protein. All right. So, make a long story short. These people, with their tofu and the soy boys, will destroy you in a war. They are incredible. Okay? Incredible. So what did they do? There was a video, I wish I could show you, of the march, a military marching band with a precision. I don't know how long it took them. And there was a women, I think it was, they were playing the French horn. I don't know what the hell they were playing. They scared the scheisse out of me. And they were the band. They turned like this. They marched like, it scared the hell out of me. You ever seen the Sean Ryan? Oh, my God. Sean Ryan is, if this isn't a psyop, I don't know what is. Ladies and gentlemen, today is Lori Partridge's birthday. I've spent with you, this is my birthday, I've spent with you since 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you stop what you're doing and you send every bit of love and sincere flattery and over the top saccharine praise and paeans, that's Paean, encomia to this incredible friend of ours, Laurie Partridge. You send her, I don't know how old she is, it doesn't matter, but she likes to watch dash cam plane crashes, and I mean, she's just Russian, I believe. Incredible. So happy birthday, dear Laurie, from Mrs. L and me. We love you immensely. You've been with us. Laurie rocks indeed. Isn't that something? Because she's a member of the family. We always stop for birthdays. Always stop. Birthdays or birthdays, as my aunt Angie, not Angie, Angie would say. Okay. So the Sean Ryan does these things where they show these guys and there's these snipers and they're covered in this. Yes. And this is an idea of trying to recruit the badass. You see, when I went, let me go back to this Sicario thing. Look at this. Ha 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 ha. Sincere flattery celebrations. Indeed, sir. There is a wonderful, how do I say this? There is in this Josh Brolin character in Sicario, he plays the ultimate badass, nondescript kind of an intel warrior type. He is it. I want testosterone. I want the mentality of a 20-year-old kid. I want the Don Shipleys. I want the Navy SEALs. I want people who love buttons and badges and medals and chevrons. I want them to be festooned in more. I want them to be absolutely awash in epaulets and CIBs and stars. Johnny Maz says, I can't process that she from last night's show. Okay, there you go. well, that's the bless her heart. In any event, that's what I want. I want to go in there, and believe it or not, this may sound crazy to you, but a Pete Hegseth, this ribald, concupiscent, sot, dipsomaniacal, perhaps a lush, a lout, a satyr, a sexual, a rake, a roue, whatever you want to call him, might be perfect to pull people in. The military is not the FCC. It's not the Commerce Commission. It's the military. I want trained killers. I want mindless savages, brutal warriors. I want men who how do I take them? The same way the Catholic Church would take young men early, right? Talk about puberty blocking, right before they could settle down. I want them to pull them right in, and I want to indoctrinate. I want to have more military schools. I want West Points. I want more VMIs. I want more Citadels. I want more ROTC. I want to exploit and focus on the absolute raw savagery of what it means to be a male. Women, God bless you. There's always some of the best, the pilots, the women women are, we'll talk about that. Women are fantastic. Women are, there has never been a woman who I believe who has made the Navy SEALs, it's never been done. I don't believe, I don't know. That's the way that goes. Not just the Army, all branches. That is exactly right, dear friends. That is exactly right. And what we need to do is we need to go out there and we need to find these people. Find these folks. Find these folks. I like Scott says, Jesuit warriors. Well, they didn't get a good one with me because I'm the most irreligious, un-Jesuit person there has ever been in terms of my devotion to Ignatius Loyola, ad maiorem Dei gloriam. But I do like the fact that I speak my mind. That I like. So do you understand what I'm saying? I don't want there to be somebody doing the YMCA song. Sorry. I don't want some trans whatever. I don't want a Rachel Levine. No. I want to scare the bejesus out of people. And I don't want somebody who is, let's say, transitioning or having transition, who is going to be targeted for capture and all kinds of terrible things to fall into the enemy hands. Everybody talks about how horrible Hamas is. Everybody talks about Hezbollah. Okay, fine. They do not cotton, it is believed, that to gays and the like. So maybe one could argue it might be, I don't know, it might be problematic for people to be in a position where they might be more vulnerable to attack. Either way, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I want complete and total savagery. I want men to be in barracks. I want them to enjoy call it what you want, a kind of an esprit de corps meets homoerotic, meets patriotism, meets John Wayne, meets, I don't know what you call it. And I want them to not think about, well, should we do this? No. We talk sometimes about Israel. I stay away from it because I don't think it's something you like. Same way with AI. I don't think you particularly care about it. Crypto says the book of Revelations, I think the Jesuit kills Antichrist. I don't know about that. Lori Cuck says MAGA youth, grr. Okay. Does it sound too much like Hitler youth? But there is this thing that goes there. And there's this part I was trying to explain to somebody, they didn't like this. What Israel believes is, I shouldn't say this, what some factions believe in is that Hamas is the enemy. We will destroy Hamas and anything that is standing next to Hamas. If Hamas is in a tunnel, we will destroy everything that is on top of the tunnel. If it's a hospital, a school, doesn't matter. If you are allowing Hamas to build tunnels, this is the way they think. We will destroy everybody in the way. If you don't like Hamas, get them out. But as long as you're there, we're telling you we're going after Hamas. And if you're in the way, that's it. And that, they don't care how many dead bodies you pull out, kids, women, old people. They don't care. That's it. You don't understand something. It's an existential threat. And that is absolutely disgusting to people. But that is the mind of a warrior. That's exactly what I want. I know it sounds terrible. I want automatons. I want savages. I want trained killers ready to go. And guess where I get these people? We don't get trained killers in the room talking about, let's get together and I'm going to be a snowflake. Get out. Anything that affects the esprit de corps, forget it. Get out. You know who is the best of the best of the best of the best of the best still? We got down here, SEALs, Navy SEALs. Great, right? Remember when all of a sudden, now they're the hottest? SEAL Team 6. Above that, maybe Special Ops, Green Beret. But at the very top, the best is Delta. And maybe at the very, 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 very top are CIA specific operatives that are the smartest and the most deadly. That's what I want. I want, put me in charge. Put me in charge. And I promise you, Pete Hegseth, he jumped on what did he do? He jumped on the stage and there was a nude dancer and Pete was drunk. Yeah. Green light him. That's the stuff of legends. They love that. Remember Patton? These are young men. He goes, that's the guy I want to be. Somebody who's chasing tail, jumping on the stage, getting drunk and with hookers and stuff. What's wrong with that? Do you understand what we're talking about here? We're talking about the military. I don't want open-minded, nice people. I want killers. Do you understand what I'm saying? I want killers. I want people who are the scariest people ever. And Pete, and I don't want Jody Anson. By the way, Jody, get a new wig. Somebody send her some money. There's stuff that is so. Have you seen? Look at Mick Jagger. There's stuff that's. Have you seen it? They put this. They can actually, like, they glue it on your head. I mean, you can't tell anything. It's great. She's walking around with that Corinne Jean-Pierre and that Gail. Okay, what is that? Okay, listen to me very carefully. Let's talk about something else which is important. And one of the things which is important is this thing called encrypted stuff and intel, and you better know how this thing works, because there are people trying to grab you and your data and everything, and they want to get you, and you better pay attention. I don't care if you've got a Mac PC or 2 paper cups and a string. Listen. Let me ask you a question. When's the last time you checked your devices for malware? Malware attacks have increased 643% since 2020, with approximately 10 million personal and corporate devices compromised with data stealing malware in just the last year alone. Additionally, 19.8% of computers face at least one malware attack annually. This emphasizes the critical need for individual users to protect themselves, their devices, and their data. This is why I use today's sponsor, Virtual Shield Antivirus Pro, and I love the peace of mind it gives me. Virtual Shield Antivirus Pro is an award-winning antivirus with real-time protection, malware removal, ad blocking, scheduled scans, multi-device protection, and more that stops malicious downloads in their tracks. Without Virtual Shield Antivirus Pro, I would risk my finances, banking details, personal data, and more getting into the hands of cyber criminals. Thanks again to Virtual Shield Antivirus Pro for sponsoring today's extravaganza. And do yourself a favor and sign up for a free 7-day free trial, of Virtual Shield Antivirus Pro during their early Black Friday sale happening now, and get up to 75% off. Yes, you heard that. Up to 75% off. Only at virtualshield.com/Lionel. Once again, that's virtualshield.com/Lionel. One thing which I need to explain, and this is the most important. I want the savage, the warrior, the crazed lunatic devoted to the destruction and elimination of the enemy, not because he's a man, but that's where we normally see it. Do you think Maggie Thatcher was some kind of a wimp? Do you think Golda Meir was a wimp? Benazir Bhutto, Indira Gandhi? Are you kidding me? Crypto says, I get YouTube shorts. World War vets telling horror stories. That ends if we don't. Oh, I get those a lot too. I love those. It's incredible to see what these people have been through. If you get me a woman who is able to work in a group of men, who is able to do whatever the physical requirements are, and who doesn't destroy this camaraderie, do you know that when you are walking around and you have to, I'm sorry to say this, ladies and gentlemen, when you're in a unit and you have to go to the latrine, you can't go out into the privacy and dig your little hole and have your nice coffee and read the paper as you communicate. No, you may have to do it right there because we don't want you out. We don't want you, snipeable. So that means, are you ready to do this? Are you ready to? It's one of the things about the idea of defecatory processes in front of everybody. Well, guess what, honey? You want to do that? You want to prance on out there, go ahead. But you're not going to go out there. You got to do it right there. Now, if there's a woman who understands this, if this can ever be, intellectually, I'm not against it, but I don't think you're going to do that. Sebastian Junger talks about in this one in Afghanistan. Men, you know what a 3-dog night is? A 3-dog night is when it's so cold that you had to sleep with 3 dogs and you share body heat. And there were men, very, very, very heterosexual men with girlfriends and wives who would sleep together and cuddle and huddle for body heat. Do you know what that does? If you put a woman into this, gay, straight, or otherwise, do you understand what's happening? Lori Cook says, Missouri wants to give $1,000 to citizens to expose illegals to ICE. Thoughts? Absolutely. It's called incentive. Remember, we had rat lines, Lori, during the Rona. Let me tell you something, too. Whatever you do, you never want to be. And to all my Canadian friends, I'm sorry for this.
The government is adding a further 324 unique makes and models of assault-style firearms to the list of prohibited firearms in Canada. This prohibition takes effect immediately. This means these firearms can no longer be legally used, sold, or imported in Canada, and can only be transferred or transported under extremely limited circumstances. As part of that process, the government of Canada has committed to the Ukrainian government to identify whether some of these guns could be donated to support the fight for democracy in Ukraine.
So they're going to be taking weapons that were confiscated and through gun running, send it to the Ukraine. What do you think about that? Next, do you know who David Hogg was? Remember who David Hogg is? Anybody remember David Hogg? Anybody? David Hogg. He was one of those gun, whatever it is. They picked him out. They liked him, and he went to Harvard. And he seemed to be kind of a creepy guy. Have you seen him now? Have you seen him? Well, let me tell you something. If you dismiss him, you are not paying attention. He's grown up. Watch this.
The Parkland school shooting survivor. David, good morning. I'm so grateful.
Now remember what I'm doing. I'm looking at the enemy. My office is propaganda. I'm not in the White House. I'm in some other place. This is the guy I want to get to. This is the enemy. Look what they're doing. Pay attention. Keep all the smug comments on the end, and I want you to tell me one thing that you see that he's doing that you admire, which should scare you. Enough with the jokes. Everybody loves the jokes. Oh, he's stupid. Oh, no, he's not. Look how they've cleaned him up. Watch. I want you to pay attention. Tell me something that you see that he does, which you think is important.
To have you.
Good morning. Happy to be here.
So tell us a little bit about this. Are you thinking about running for this leadership post, and why?
Well, honestly, I'm considering it because I think that
he is running.
Obviously, I think we need a new generation in the DNC. If this election has taught us nothing else, I think we need an intergenerational coalition as a party.
Okay, listen carefully. Listen carefully. Listen carefully.
But I've spent the past 2 years or so traveling around the country, working to elect young people and talking to everyday people, knocking on doors in every swing state that you can imagine. And
he's not knocking on doors, by the way.
And some very red states as well, from starting out in Alabama to places like Texas and Virginia and everywhere in between. And the thing that I've realized more than anything is that we have a number of problems in the party, but I think the main one overall is that we would rather live in a comfortable delusion than an uncomfortable reality. And I think what the party needs to do.
Did you hear that? You can laugh all you want. You can laugh all you want. Laugh at your peril. He's saying exactly the same thing. What we're saying. That should scare you.
Is open its eyes and take its fingers out of its ears. basically.
What is, when you say delusion, what is the delusion?
This one on the right, she's a true believer. She has no idea. She is so stuck. I don't know who she is, but I've seen her before. She's thinking, should I be old school? Am I the new CNN? I don't know what. But listen to him. He's very good.
I think it's that we can just surround ourselves with people that agree with us
Yep.
a lot of the time in terms of the party leadership and also within the party itself, and think that's just who we need to be talking to constantly.
Exactly.
Instead of listening to people who don't agree with us.
That's what we do. That's what Fox News does. That's what Fox News does. Fox News goes and they have all these hey, look, oh, he's proud to be an American. That's great. That's great for us. Who's recruiting the new people? The hell with it. They'll get all that. Oh, no. That's what news, Fox News is. That's what CPAC does. Listen to what he's saying.
Not that we inherently agree with them, but I think so much the issue that we have as a party right now is a kind of condescending tone.
Yes.
We have in a number of ways where we're seen increasingly as elitist, as
yes,
out of touch. And I think there are real conversations that we need to have. And
I hate that word conversation. You have no idea. When I hear the word conversation, I lose my mind.
We also need to help more, not just young people, but people from normal backgrounds run for office. I think Tim Walz is actually a great example of this.
This is when it's like, okay, you almost had me there, Hog. Boss Hog, you almost had me there. This is when he lost us.
Of running as a teacher and gaining all the experience that he had to massively outperform even in a Trump-held district, right? We need everyday people from teachers.
What are you talking about? They were trounced. Okay, let me stop right there. You're missing the point. He's doing a good job. That's what I want. See, that's my thing. He failed at pillow business. I don't know. I'll check that one. I don't know what that means. Delusion straight out of Bible. I don't know what that means, Laurie. Danger, they're learning. Oh no. They learn, but they also, I think I forgot to show you something. There's something that I forgot to show you something, Laurie. You bring something up. I forgot to put this clip up. But this is a really good one. And this is something that our friend Barack Obama does. And one of the things, remember what you've learned. Remember what we've learned. Always listen to the flattery teenage girl who's trying to flirt with the boy. Listen to what she does. Learn from that because it's very effective, extremely effective. I know people don't want to hear that, but it's true. And let me see where. Oh, here we go. This is, pardon me, I should have had this up for you. This is Barack Obama. Listen to him and see if you notice what I notice. Hang on a minute. Just a minute. Hang on a minute. There we go. There we go. There. I apologize. I should have had this prepared for you for a presentation, but I will do it right now. Here's Barack. Now listen to him. Here we go.
There are going to be times, potentially, when one side...
He's doing the black voice now. He does many times. That motherfucker doesn't want to write. And I know he don't crave, though. But that time be kind of like nothing but a pita bed. And he's not going that far. But he's getting very southern accent. There'll be times. Why he does this, I have no idea. Trump doesn't do this.
There are going to be times, potentially, when one side tries to stack the deck and lock in.
Listen, now stop right there. You know what he's doing? Now watch this. He is describing what the Democrats do, but he is attributing it to the Republicans. Very good.
There are going to be times, potentially, when one side tries to stack the deck and lock in.
I know that's right.
A permanent.
See,
grip on power.
He caught himself because he says, "Oh shit, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing."
Either by actively suppressing votes or politicizing the armed forces or using
politicizing the armed forces. This is what they're doing. Listen to him.
Judiciary, criminal
lawfare,
justice system to go after opponents,
That's what they're doing.
And in those circumstances, pluralism does not call for us to just stand back and say, well, I'm not sure.
That's what they, listen to this genius.
Okay. In those circumstances, a line has been crossed, and we have to stand firm.
Now, that is his own statement. The audience did not understand this. Porch Sitters says David is a creation of mind control. P.S. That's Porch Sitters. We're going to be doing that. It's all mind control. Christian Jana says, are we going to find out Obama is actually the big guy? No. That I've told you this since the beginning. He has never, ever, ever been the big guy. And by the way, I know everybody loves to make jokes about Michelle and Big Mike, and it demeans us. It's funny for the inside crowd, but it demeans us. It hurts us. It doesn't do anything. Let us move on from that. It shows us as petty and trite and nasty and mean and that sort of thing. But my friends, it's all about mind control. Let me go back to a couple of things here. This is Gustave Le Bon. The beginning of a revolution is in reality the end of a belief. Oh, God. We are talking, this is a revolution of ideas. Listen to this. All psychologists who have studied the intelligence of women, as well as poets and novelists, recognize today, this is Le Bon, that they represent the most inferior forms of human evolution and that they are closer to children and savages than to an adult civilized man. They excel in fickleness, inconstancy, absence of thought and logic, and incapacity to reason. Now, I am not subscribing to this. But if you don't, if there's not a part of you who is saying, oh, because who are the people in the bathrooms? Who are the people exhibiting this collective, synchronized, I guess you would call it this crazy mental illness, lunacy regarding gender? It's women. Women are. If Obama wasn't, if Obama wasn't SBH, he'd call it or flag by red flag and war front and center for all to see. This is, I think I know what you're saying, and I thank you for that. I'm not sure. So Joel was operating on his own with Hunter et al. Yes. Oh, absolutely. He didn't know. No. That was on his own. See, it's hard for people to realize how incredibly, what's the word? How incredibly disorganized these folks are. Let me also bring a couple of things to your awareness. Listen to me carefully. Never get offended by what I'm saying if it's the truth. Never get offended. Never. Sometimes the truth, things hurt you. Things about women, things about men, things about blacks, whites, gays, straights, skinny people, fat people, old people, young. Everybody, every group has a truth to it. And sometimes that truth you don't want to hear, but it's true. That's why it's a truth. I don't care about hurting people's feelings. I want to win this. And you better listen to that David Hogg. Pilgrim Media says, enjoy your weekend, Uncle Lenny. Thank you, PM. Appreciate that. Now, you know what I would do? The next time David Hogg decides to speak, we have a group of people that will go dressed up as whatever it is, Tinkerbell or Furbies or whatever it was, and basically call him a traitor. Never all nonviolent, of course, but call him a traitor and saying, you're a sellout. You're a sellout. Why do I do that? Cause a fracture. So he has to stop what he's saying and he has to argue with these people. Those people will attract others to again destroy the Democratic Party. Then you got AOC coming in here. You see, we got two groups of people. Please don't. Crypto says, if he wasn't a female dog, okay. If he wasn't a bitch, okay, gotcha. Thank you for this. One of the things which are very interesting to know, this is critical, and I say this. There are two groups of people that I'm very concerned about that we need to address. Women in particular and young people. And young women, I don't even know where we're going with that one. I don't even know where. I heard the other day a group of young women talking about how it is commonplace not to want to put in the time and the effort and the work and everything that is responsible or that is part and parcel of the work ethic, if that makes any sense to you. Let me give you another example. I think I told you this, and I'm going to say it again. There's something very strange that's happening to our young people, and they don't understand a couple of things. First of all, the idea of working hard. Elon Musk is nothing but a work machine. He is somebody who is a work machine. A friend of mine tells me that one of the classic traits of a billionaire is these are never the people who say, oh, thank God it's Monday. No, Friday. Or I hate Mondays. They're saying no. They want to work. They want to work all the time. They want to work all the time. We don't know. There are young people, by the way, who are working. Some of these content producers, they're working 20. This is the longest stuff. If you want to do this, remember, I'm my own producer here. I'm at Mrs. Alton. We get thumbnails, writing, this, ads, blah, blah, blah. 2 people. That's it. We're it. And it's a lot of work. And you're always thinking, always. It's so much work. You got to do this. And then it's like working. Let's do cardio. No, now it's time to go. We got to work on the Twitter, keep that going. And then you go back to the videos and then this and then bank them. And then, it's a lot of work, which is fine because it's always thinking and always being productive and stuff. So anyway, so the young people in particular who are saying things like, I don't know, our life and our work, I'm thinking, but wait a minute, what's going on here? And there's another problem too. As Bitcoin hit $2,000 or $2,000 per coin. All that. People today are not understanding what money is. They don't understand this. They don't understand money and debt and up and down. To them, it's a game or something. I don't know what it is. And the idea of debt, we always talk about debt, the inflation of the debt and the national debt and this, that, and that debt. And there are people who don't understand this. Right now, Gen Z has been, MSN had this great article. It was wonderful. I'll tell you about it. They're going through the roof. In fact, I'm going to put it in a newsletter. Dear God, it's one of the most incredible things you've ever seen. And there are parents who are trying to say, do you know, because parents don't have lectures or discussions with kids about sex or marriage or jobs or politics or anything. In fact, when people get married, if they still get married today, they never talk about finances. Never. They never talk about, can I see your credit rating? What is your FICO score? What? It doesn't. For some reason, they've lost it. And then again, they're saying, why should I care about my interest rates? Why should I care about debt when the government's in debt, when nothing's real, when it's all crypto and it's not gold and we're off the Bretton Woods? And irrespective of this, I'm telling you right now, if you know someone in particular and you've got friends and you think, I don't know what the hell to do. Here is the best way to start. Listen to what you need to do. And don't do like most people and say, well, I don't own any or owe any, I have no debt and I've got a 9 million FICO rate. That doesn't help anybody. There are people out there who say, where do I go? What do I do? This is what I tell them. Listen to this. New reports reveal that the average person has $8,674 in credit card debt. Plus, the total average consumer debt is a shocking $104,215 between mortgages, auto loans, student loans, credit cards, and unsecured loans. Unfortunately, without outside assistance, Many will continue digging themselves deeper and deeper into the hole of debt. Now, I've advised and counseled friends and clients for years who want to take back control of individual debt about this secret weapon that has helped so many consolidate everything owed into one affordable monthly payment. They even help negotiate a settlement agreement that will allow you to pay less than the total balance. Listen, they settled over $275 million in debt, and they've helped people become debt-free in an average of 28 months. I've had such an incredible experience referring clients and friends that I wanted to partner with them here and introduce their services to you, my loyal Lionel Nation family. If you want a helping hand to get out of debt, I absolutely, positively, and strenuously recommend booking a free consultation now by going to nodebtwithlionel.com. Look at the address. Once again, that's nodebtwithlionel.com. Use the link I've provided under the title. Listen to me. You can take control and learn how to get out of debt now. I love the idea of brutality. Love, when I say brutality, I don't mean violent brutality. I mean brutal honesty. I love it. Let me give you an example of this one. You're going to love this. By the way, Crypto says, I'm with Elon. I'm making the most I've ever. $56,000 a month. Excellent. My God. Crypto says they call it the game. Indeed. Couple of things. Do you know a while back, I think I told you this. Radio ratings used to be this thing called the what is it called? The Arbitron Diary. It was this ridiculously arcane and archaic means of dealing with people called the diary. It was ridiculous. Okay, so make a long story short, this diary was something that people kept, and they wrote down once a week. They wrote down what they listened to in terms of radio, and it was all a lie and all inaccurate. So what they would do is they had these things called a PPM, personal people meters, and it was a device you wore. Well, what happened was they were finding a dip. This is when it first, I don't know about now, but when it first started, there was a dip in urban stations, Black participation. And somebody said, Black men do not want to wear this. This is not considered cool or strong. You got to understand something. It's a Black thing. And they said, well, we can't talk about that. I'm thinking, schmuck, you better pay attention to this. Listen to this. No, we can pay. Even there, you have to recognize there are certain things. Do you know that when I remember reading one time, it was a Burger King or something in Hawaiian area, Polynesian, everything had to be sweeter. The sauces had to be sweeter. The drinks had to be sweeter. The toppings sweeter to comply with and comport with their dietary styles. It's fascinating. It had to be. And they said, well, can we say that? I say, that's the way it is. Remember years ago when you were driving and somebody says, you know, you were in a Black neighborhood when you saw menthol cigarette ads. Remember that? You were driving Newport or malt liquor. Remember that? It's true. And you would say, you can't say that. I say, no, excuse me. The people who make Newport and malt liquor do not waste their money on being, they're not going to put it in, Westchester. They're going to put them in Black areas. Well, but the point is, and nobody wanted to recognize it. There are certain, I remember a friend of mine one time who delivered. He was like a delivery guy, and he would stock different things. He said, if ever you go into a 7-Eleven, you see hot ketchup, if they sell hot ketchup, Heinz made this one brand of, it's a special kind of hot ketchup, you're in a Black neighborhood. It's true. Because that's Heinz at the time, I don't know if they make them now, but that's what they did. It wasn't being racist, it was identifying the demographic. It's what I want to do. I want to identify the demographic. I'm not here to be I'm not here to be politically correct or nice. I want to tell you the truth, the God's honest truth. And the God's honest truth sometimes is very, very funny. And the God's honest truth tells you that this is the way it is. I don't care whether you like it, whether it doesn't matter to me. This is the way it is. That serious. So I want to win. So even though I love this Fox News, that was great. Those are for people already going to vote for Trump. The Democrat, I'm talking about the David Hall group. I'm going to talk about gays and Dems and lefties and people that I want to bring over. Where else am I going to get new recruits, new followers? By going to the well, the same well all the time? No. Now listen to me right now. This is Mrs. L's brand new. This is her YouTube story on, she did last night on the deadbeats in the human trafficking world. These people are absolutely the worst. And I mean to tell you something. I've never seen such a bunch of bullshit peddlers in my life. You have no idea. And she's always trying to negotiate. If she meets a group of people who want to help the kids, they're lefties and they like Trump or don't like Trump or this. I said, would you talk about kids? Focus on kids. Anyway, tonight is Ventilation Friday. Join us at 7 p.m. tonight, this eve. We're gonna go back and we're gonna have a ball. Crypto Domini, you, my friend, were on fire. Pilgrim Media, thank you. Christian Janus. Lori Cuck. Cuck is back. Bless her heart. Let me see who's there. Johnny Maz, Spaz, thank you. Lori Partridge, happy birthday, young lady. What are you, about 25 years old? Bless your heart. Thank you so much. Let's send more love to Lori. It's her birthday. Tom Malloy, thank you. Ryan, Raul Rodriguez, Fred Pound, and JTE, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, dear friends, I hope you learned something. Don't forget, if you are signed up for I pinned it. I just dropped at 9 o'clock the latest newsletter, email, whatever dropped. By the way, if you get one, you can get them all. You can go back, but sign up. Get them now. I've got more coming up than you can believe. All right, dear friends, have a great and glorious day. See you tonight at 7 p.m. Don't forget for our Ventilation Friday. And until then, remember these words: the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Dat.